Currently with agriculture, we're at a critical point. By 2050, we expect there to be 10 billion people on the planet. If we're going to produce enough food to feed ourselves in the future without further damaging the planet, we're going to have to learn to farm better. I'm Jerry Glover. I'm a scientist, an agricultural ecologist, and a National Geographic explorer. I'm exploring ways that farmers around the world can use soil and water and other resources much more efficiently, while also producing more food. Right now, when we really need to increase the productivity of our farms, we're using the thinnest, most nutrient-depleted soils that farmers have worked with in history. It wasn't until humans came along and cleared large areas of land that annual types of plants like wheat, rice, corn became the dominant feature of landscapes. If we think about the natural plant communities that covered the planet before agriculture came along, they were nearly all dominated by perennial plants. There's a good reason for that, and it's because they are so efficient at capturing and using and recycling nutrients, but also the roots that these plants have feed the very rich microbial communities below ground that build soil organic matter, another crucial part of the puzzle. We can actually develop perennial versions of the major grain crops that will function much more like the native plant communities that our annual crops have replaced. Farmers have recently taken the wild perennial relative of wheat called wheatgrass and developed it into a domesticated perennial type of wheat called kernza. It's late winter here on this USDA research station, but there's a lot going on here with the kernza growing. The roots are alive. We see green growth on the top, so it's capturing sunlight. The roots are feeding the soil system, the microbial communities that are really important for building soil health, maintaining this beautiful texture. There are other examples. Perennial rice growing in China. Scientists are working on perennial versions of sorghum, a major staple crop in Africa and Asia. Perennial versions of the major grain crops aren't just a fantasy. As we consider a range of solutions to meeting our food needs, including algae, insects, tissue culture meats, the development of perennial grain crops could really be a big part of that solution for feeding 10 billion people and beyond.